We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Let's wind up and then we gather again. Let's gather back. Let's assemble. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. You can just give us 2-3 points from your group. We can go up there, but let's assemble. The next session is about to start. Thank you very much. Members. Let's go back. The guest of honor has arrived. Yeah, the way you were seated before. Thank you. Maybe who is giving a summary from your group? Michael, eh? Okay. You can be giving us. Janet, please, engaging men and boys. Let's close. We go, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention. We're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, but for now, please allow me to ask you to get onto your feet. I have the very rare opportunity to welcome the ambassador, Her Excellency, the ambassador of the Netherlands to Uganda. Please let us rise up and welcome her with a warm welcome. Your Excellency, Madam Ambassador, you are very welcome. We're happy to have you here, and we will be inviting you in a few minutes. But for now, you walked in as we were having a session by Power to Youth, and we were having some conversations and dialogues around GBV. And so really what the exercise was to do is to give the minds in the house an opportunity to be a part of the conversation. And so we will be wrapping up that session with some representatives from the different groups coming up here, and each one will be given just 2 minutes to summarize some of the points that were mentioned or that were given. So in the next 1 minute, please I want a representative from each group to please come forward, but you can definitely help us through it. We'll do that for about 5 minutes, and then we'll have Her Excellency.
Thank you very much. Our representatives from Engaging Men and Boys.
Hello. You people missed. We are the only ones who had the real discussion. So we were looking at boys and men and how they have come, their role in GBV. And in my group, we all came to agreement after a number of discussion that GBV is not to ladies or women, but to boys too. That is a point that boys put across. And they said that we should all know our rights. And the men in the house today, I would like to tell you that it's fine to cry. It is fine to scream. Please feel free to say, I'm not okay. Because it is your right. Stop being a man. And then also, they should not blame GBV on men, but on the system. And then another thing was knowing our responsibilities. There is nowhere in the history of mankind where they said that cooking is for women. Let's know that. I think briefly that's what I can say about boys and men. So the boys and men, we are no longer blaming you. It is the system. Have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you so much. Well, we also do have our own system here, and it requires for the next representative to come. Please make way. In the meantime, I'll ask all the other representatives, please make way here so that we can save some time. So if you know you're going to represent a group, please make your way to the stage right now.
Well, thank you. This is the group for the young people, and we summarized here the points that the roles of young people would be in our societies as regards to ending gender-based violence. We talked about being open-minded. As we all know, we come from different communities and cultures that have different cultural beliefs. So we need to be open-minded, to be able to learn different ideals that are opposed to some of our bad cultural beliefs that are oppressive to the young people and leading to GBV. Then we talked about love. This is between the couples, because where there is love, you don't expect GBV. You cannot start battering your wife or your husband when you love each other. So we encourage that when you marry, make sure you marry the rightful person. And then we also talked about forming movements that advocate against issues of GBV at different levels, community levels, district levels, regional levels, national levels, and even international levels. We talked about speaking up. If you remain silent, then you won't be able to get the support that is required. So we, as young people, we encourage young people, fellow young people out there, to speak up if they are going through a certain situation that isn't good or that's leading to issues of gender-based violence. Then we talked about documenting these issues and sharing with other people so that we can be able to attract their attention that can lead to the help towards issues of GBV. Also using social media platforms to publish and also advocate against these issues. Then we also talked about ourselves here. Now that we have shared about the messages here, we have watched the video, what are we going to do? It starts with us. As we go out there, we need to talk about this message here. We need to talk about talk to those people who did not get the opportunity to come here and get this message here. So by so doing, we are also helping to fight against issues of SGBV. Then also, we talked of organizing youth clubs in school and out of school that are geared towards talking about issues of GBV to support our fellow young people out there. Then encouraging sex education. This helps young people to make informed decisions about certain issues that they are going through. Because if you're not informed, then it becomes very hard for you to be able to advocate for yourself and also support others. Also training them to be able to know the relevant structures within our communities where they can run to. Some people are out there dying, but they don't know where they should run for help. If you have been raped, where do you go? If someone is forcing you into marriage, where do you run to? So those are some of the issues. And then identifying the red flags out there, the real issues that are affecting our community members, and then sharing them with the relevant structures, as well as empowering each other. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I'll speak on how social norms and values cause gender-based violence. As a group, we've come up with different social norms and values, and the first one was patriarchy. Of course, we see that in different cultures, they front more of men. Men are the head of this, men are supposed to do this. You see, like, even the group for the men and boys, the role of the men and boys in the fight against GBV, they were saying it is okay for the men to cry. So that means that as human beings, we are all equal, regardless of gender, regardless of sex. So we should not front any gender or sex as the head above the other. So we also have the negative stereotypes as we are growing up. Girls, you're supposed to do this. Boys, you're supposed to do this. A girl is supposed to cook. A boy is not supposed to cook. Boys are supposed to look for money. So we should find ways of doing away with the negative stereotypes because they drive the gender-based violence. We also have cultural norms of FGM, which is female genital mutilation. It causes more of emotional violence. Ideally, from the previous speakers, emotional violence is not taken to be serious, but it is serious and it causes more of what? Of mental illness. So we should try to fight it. And we also, when we come to some cultures, as I said, patriarchy, they consider only men and boys when it comes to inheritance. So you find that us women or girls, we are left with no property. However much, because they'll say for you, you'll get married and you'll get property from your husband's side, but even when you get married, your husband will own all the property. So you find that those cultural norms have driven this gender-based violence and has made it a pandemic. However, we came up with certain solutions where we have to collectively fight against GBV. We have to take it as a collective responsibility, and we also have to differentiate between the good and bad cultures. We have to task our leaders to stand up, make policies and laws to see that we do away with gender-based violence. I thank you.
I would expect a bigger round of applause. These are your ideas. These are your ideas. And I want to just really point out the fact, I don't think MCs use this. I think we're supposed to use this.
I was
one,
trying
yeah?
to be cozy.
Oh, okay. Well, not the time to be cozy, girl. Okay. Anyways, so these are your ideas. And I want to just point out the fact that this is something that doesn't usually happen in these kind of events, right? Whereby usually what will happen is we like parade people here that have made it in life, and then they like tell you what you should and should not do. But this time round, everything has been changed around. We want you to be able to contribute to the conversation. And so you sitting in your groups, it's because we know that yes, there are people that could be experts in the field, there are people that could be having organizations, but that doesn't mean that you as an individual do not go through these things, or you do not know someone that is going through them. And so it's important for you to be part of that conversation. And just a reminder that that conversation doesn't need to end here and today. It should continue. It should go on. Even after you are home, think of how best you can propel that dialogue you had in your group and put it out to the rest of the communities.
Yeah, and maybe just one small thing that is really important that I've learned from this particular activity that has gone on is we realize that the community's voices matter. That as much as we have experts in the building, we had a panel earlier on, and these were experts. But at the end of the day, we had to really reach down to the community and we ask, is it really happening? Is this true? What do you want? What do you need? And it's the needs and the challenges that the community is facing, or they are facing. I don't know, Luzungu, English.
Yes, true.
So the needs and challenges the community are facing are the ones that speak now to the experts.
Exactly. They inform the experts.
They inform the experts, they inform the panel discussions. And I'm really, really so happy and glad that there are like 3 expectations. They have been fulfilled. There are smiles on people's faces.
There are beautiful smiles in the building.
And people ate.
Yeah, that's very important also.
That was one of my expectations. We had to eat.
Yeah.
And it's really, really an honor. And I'm so glad that I'm with you right now.
I'm so happy to work with you, to be here with you today.
I know.
I've learned a lot from you. But of course, we wouldn't be here without ViceVersa.
ViceVersa Global.
Yes, ViceVersa Global being very instrumental in having us here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask us to just give a round of applause to ViceVersa Global. Thinking up this, making sure that it comes to life, reaching out to you. And thank you also for taking your time to fill those forms out. I don't like Google document forms most of the time, but the questions that were in this particular form I felt were actually really deep. And important.
There's a particular question they asked,
Yes.
what do you expect from this event? And instead of writing networking, I said network. So someone called and they said, we just wanted to clarify, were you actually saying networking or you wanted network like signal? And I was like, did I write network? I think I need a network.
Good thing you found both, yeah? Anyways, we're going to have the team lead from ViceVersa Global come and just talk to us a little bit, remind us of why we are here, why we have gathered from our different places, why we've put in the time and the effort to make today happen. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are inviting the lady over there, Ivana.
We call her Ivana, but she's Ivana Cato. Ivana Cato. Please, the floor is yours.
Oh, technology, sorry. Thank you so much, Kane and Robina. Good evening, everyone. I am overwhelmed by your presence today. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation as ViceVersa Global. This wouldn't have happened without you. My name is Ivana Kato, and I am the country coordinator of ViceVersa Global here in Uganda. And ViceVersa Global, briefly, is a media organization that is led by young African journalists from the Global South. The difference between us and other media organizations is we tell positive African stories, just like the ones you've seen today, Helen Waleke, Lynette Chirunji. These are people who we've met and given platform. And we do not only share their stories and walk away, we keep close to them to this day. For example, Lynette and Helen Waleke, I happened to do an interview on them on the Up Close with Ivana Kato show in 2022. And briefly about myself, I'm a young person, born and living with HIV. But if I wasn't given a chance to share my experience with other people and inspire a generation, I don't think I would be the person I am today. I don't think I would have met Lynette. I don't think I would have met every one of you. And that is what the uniqueness about ViceVersa Global. We tell these stories because we want these voices to be heard. And that is the reason as to why we're here today. About this festival, this wouldn't have happened without our amazing sponsors and partners. As you can see, there are beautiful logos here, and the Dutch Embassy. This wouldn't have happened without my amazing team, the ViceVersa Global Ugandan team. It's excellent. And I will not say that we are all, you know, it's not like we've known each other for, you know, that long. But because of the respect, because of the uniqueness, because of the abilities, the talents that each of us carries, we have learned on job. I did not study journalism, but I was given a platform under ViceVersa Global as a young HIV-positive woman who was struggling with life. I was given a platform, and someone believed in me. And if I didn't get that opportunity, honestly, I don't know where I would have been. And that is why we support young journalists who are willing to tell the positive stories of Africa. We don't want to focus on the negative. That is that's our mission on this earth. We want to spread the positivity. We are done listening to the bad stories. We are not perfect. We do have the bad side, but we want to share the positivity. People out there need to know who we really are. Thank you so much for coming through, for the beautiful discussions, for the amazing sign language interpreter, for every one of you who has really managed to make this happen. This is our first ViceVersa Global Festival, and we want to have it every single year. And we would like to have your support 24/7. Because what our cause, we believe in what we are doing. We are doing it with passion. We are not doing it to be seen or for money. Of course, we need the money though. But we want to give platform to people like Kirunji Lynette, to people like Helen Waleke, to the amazing cover girl. I think some of you have not even met her. The girl on the cover of our magazines. Those are the people we are looking for. People who have been denied a voice. That is what ViceVersa Global is here to do. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all once again. And I am privileged to welcome Her Excellency. I caught her off guard, I'm sorry. But I am honored to welcome her, Her Excellency, the Ambassador of the Embassy of the Netherlands to Uganda, to give us a word.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and to see so many young, friendly, excited faces. It's good to be here. My name is Karin Boven, and I'm the ambassador of the Netherlands here in Uganda. I arrived in September 2020, so that's 2.5 years ago. I still have some time left, luckily. And again, this is such a unique event. So, as you all know, the festival has been initiated by ViceVersa Global. And additionally, there are many civil society organizations that have been co-sponsoring and co-organizing the festival. And you see them, of course, on the banners, but let me mention them specifically today. Many of these organizations are strategic partners of the Netherlands Ministry of Foreign Affairs through the following consortia program. That is She Leads. Is She Leads here? Raise your hand. Yes. Right here, right now. Yes. Power to Youth. Oh. FNV Mondiaal. Yeah. IUCN. And Media Initiative Challenge. I don't see the fingers there. And another co-sponsor and organizer is Alive Medical Services. Okay. Which is a partner organization of our Swedish colleagues. So today's festival demonstrates that our partnership goes beyond the regular programmatic arrangements. It's about shared mission, and collective voice to contribute to an equitable world, free of violence. And the embassy, the Netherlands embassy, is happy to have contributed to the realization of this festival, the first of its kind in Kampala indeed. So there are two essential criteria to make a festival into a success. First are the visitors. Without visitors, no festival. So again, I'm happy to see that so many of you came to participate today, to share your work, ideas, opinions on how we can battle the high level of gender-based violence in Uganda. And despite the gloomy reality, a positive and resilient spirit is critical to reach our goals. And this is exactly what you, the younger generation, brings in. And I can feel the festival breathing this positive spirit that change is possible and that we can all want to contribute to it. Secondly, a festival is only successful if it has a good content and a strong lineup. And we can certainly say that the lineup today is impressive. It is diverse, it is participative, sometimes confrontational, and above all, it is inspiring. I want to thank ViceVersa Global, Mark, you are there in the corner, and all our collaborating partners to make this festival, the first one in Kampala, already into a success. And as a token of appreciation, I will hand over the certificates of appreciation to all participating organizations for a job well done. Thank you very much. And a special word of thank you for Judith. Judith, where are you? From our embassy team? Judith? Not here? Brechtje? Raise your hand. And Ruth, of course, thank you so much. So I think we're going to hand over the certificates. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yes, so Your Excellency, we would like to appreciate the sponsors and partners that have made this event a success. And as we call out your names, we request that a representative from your end would come up and receive the certificate on behalf of the organization. This is a certificate of appreciation to FNV Mondial. Certificate of appreciation to Shilids. The certificate of appreciation to IUCN. I think it's certificate of appreciation to Power to Youth. Certificate of appreciation to Right Here, Right Now. Right Here, Right Now. A certificate of appreciation to Alive Medical Services. A certificate of appreciation to Media Challenge Initiative. A certificate of appreciation to Media Challenge Initiative. and a certificate of appreciation to the Royal Embassy of the Netherlands in Uganda. Your Excellency. That you would all right. With that, all right. Your Excellency, I would also like to appreciate the ViceVersa Global team that I have worked with from the very beginning since we started this planning in December to this day. You have made me proud, and I believe you have made all our partners and the audience proud. This is a certificate of recognition to Abdouadoud Bayo as our events operations manager. Round of applause. Thank you. A certificate of certificate of recognition to Emmanuel Mandebo as an event marketing manager. I'm sorry, it caught them off guard. This was a surprise. And I'm happy it is still a surprise. Certificate of recognition to Waswa McWilliams, our event photographer and videographer. Certificate of recognition to Nantaba LC Najuma, event graphic designer. She did all the designing that you see and the backdrop and all the posters and everything that you've been seeing. A picture? Certificate of recognition to Oinokwesiga Pinklin, events coordinator. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Pinklin. She has expressed her amazing talents even while she's lipping. Certificate of recognition to Nalukenge Martha. Nalukenge Martha, our event social media manager. Martha is a reporter in Masaka. She doesn't reside in Kampala, but she gives us positive stories from Masaka. And a certificate of recognition to Ivan Nakato, event manager.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, before you leave, we the MCs, organized something small for the team. Not so, Kanan? Yeah. So we organized something for the team, and Your Excellency, we are really humbled that you've honored our events. And Your Excellency, don't worry, first take a seat. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry, you don't worry, just. So this is the artwork that me and him, that we have done. And Your Excellency, it's such a privilege that we are going to share this piece of art with you today and with the rest of you all. Please give us a hand clap. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, we give ourselves things we have not done, but it's okay. So, yes. All things end well, eh? All things end well, not so? So we are going to invite, before we do the cake cutting, I would like to invite all the team, the ViceVersa Global team. Where are you? Please run quickly for a group photo with the ambassador, and then we shall head on straight to the... Please hurry. This does not wait. For me. Yes, for me. No. Okay, so the team, I think we are going to use this, the photo, a group photo. Your Excellency, we are going to have a group photo with that team. The ViceVersa Global team, where are you? Mark William? Yes, and Canaan, after the team, definitely we have to, you know? Yeah. So yeah, is there anyone missing? Who? Who else is missing? Okay, Mark, by a vote of, I don't know. Yes, so let me invite Mark up here. Team leader. Mark, yes. So please have a moment, and then we shall have a moment with my friend here. Canaan, please, be steady. Yes. Okay, photographers, please, this is your moment. And after that, don't go away. Don't go away. Yes. All right. Canaan, yes, you know, we have to take advantage of every opportunity. Canaan, come. Yes, yes. Photographers. You have to hold me like that. All right.
Do these people need to be here? I don't think, you guys are busy, yeah? You have an event to organize. You go and organize. You go and organize. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely, ma. These are things that don't come every day. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much to the team that has made today happen. Yes, so, Madam...
Your Excellency. Oh, sorry.
So while we were setting this cake up, which Robin and I really worked so hard on,
it was not easy.
It was not easy at all. I remember I told you the blue would look nice, and you
but your diary is like, you know.
It kind of came out well, yeah. But I was seeing some people, and I could read their minds. They were like, "What would happen if it fell down like right now?"
Fire on your
Because like we
head.
had the plates and everything, and like, but it is still standing strong like ViceVersa Global. We will invite the ambassador and the partners that have made today happen, and of course the team lead with ViceVersa Global to come and have a wonderful moment.
And please have a wonderful moment of our piece of art.
With our cake.
Yes.
Don't eat until you're told. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a coupon for the cake.
So
but I'll invite
make sure
the
you
partners.
register.
Yes.
Yeah.
Register with the MCs to eat cake. So the partners, the different partners, and of course the team lead, Ivana. Do you know how to use those things? All right. Wonderful. Ivana. How old is ViceVersa Global Uganda? 2 years? Okay. Okay. So we'll count from 50. I'm kidding. We'll just count from 3. All right. Are we ready, Ivana? You're supposed to be in the photo. Yeah, in the photo. Let's mind height. Yeah. The MC. I hope you know how to use that thing. All right, are we ready? Guys, are we ready? Are we ready? All right, we'll be counting from 5. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Congratulations! It has refused. I told you don't hold that. The MC is still fighting with the pop. It's okay, you'll pop it tomorrow. You'll come back tomorrow.
Do you see this?
What is your village? What is your village?
My village is starting to get developed.
That was not my question. What is your village?
I come from First way.
From? They don't have those things there?
For us, we have, you know how you get
Balloons, you bust
no,
balloons
no.
and-
You know how you get a can,
Uh-huh.
and then you get that ash from the firewood,
No, I don't.
and then you put it in, and then you go doing like this. That is what we do.
Is that witchcraft or?
No, we are sprinkling surprise things, poppers.
I am very scared.
There is also another.
Yes.
You put an empty bottle, and then you run very fast from the other end, and then you come and
The problem, you learned all the wrong methods and didn't learn the simple, correct one. But it's okay. You'll come back same time, same place tomorrow to come and learn how to pop those things.
It's okay.
Yeah. But for now, we're going to be. Everyone is looking at us hungrily. They want to know the next step.
We are
to the
going.
cake.
We are going into storytelling.
So this is the thing.
We are going into storytelling.
As we eat our cake, we will also be.
Hey, we are going to eat cake.
You thought it's
I
for
thought
decoration?
it's after storytelling, then we eat.
No.
Okay.
Don't worry. Sois digne, sois calme. So as we are preparing the cake, which you will eat, don't worry. You do not need a coupon for this. It's on the house. It's from me and my co-MC. Freely to you. But as we prepare for you your cake, we will be going into a short session of storytelling. And She Leads has some amazing storytellers that are going to come here and use like 10 minutes to tell us a wonderful story. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for She Leads.
Woohoo! Woo-doo-doo.
I have a confession to make. I have a confession to make. I just want you to look on your left, your partner, and follow what I'm going to say. This is from our big brother Andrew. Kindly tell your neighbor, I love you with a great smile. Yeah, from our big brother, it was a commitment with a hug. So kindly tell your neighbor, I love you with a hug. That is a commitment and is going to make a confession. Wow. Thank you so much. That I love you only with those great smiles clearly give to us on our theme today, and that is creating awareness and solutions around gender-based violence and embracing equity. So when you have that great smile, which means it is already a confession, like it's coming out. My name is Linda from Moroto. I'm under mentoring organization, that is Karamoja Women Umbrella Organization, and implementing partner for Terry Des Homes, Netherlands, that is based in Uganda. And I'm a young activist, a She Leads activist, representing girls at the country network, as well as the UN. Before I go further, I want to give you a brief background about the She Leads. It is actually comprised of young girls with our mentors. And in the She Leads program, we have three consortium coordinators. That is Plan International, Feminate, and Terry Des Homes, Netherlands. Under these consortium partners, we have other lead implementing partners, one of which I come from, that is Karamoja Women Umbrella Organization. We have GLS, Yardnet, Gallup, TMF, and others. So in Uganda, it is not only in Uganda where the She Leads is being implemented, but it is globally. And in Africa, we are in 9 countries. That is Sierra Leone, Mali, Lebanon, Jordan, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, and also Mali. We have an objective that is a sustained influence. Sustained influence. In our own objective, we actually look at the girls and young women. How are they going to amplify their voices in the decision-making process? And this objective is actually guided in 3 domains. We have the social norm domain, the CSO and GYW domain, and the institutional. That's why all of us are here today. Alongside with me, I have my other colleague. She's going to introduce herself.
My name is Patricia Ainembabazi. I'm from She Leads, Gallup. I'm from Central Division under Gallup, and I'm going to tell a story. The story I'm telling today is of my friend, who I will call Patience, since I'm Patricia, so that we can rhyme. I was 8 years, I think, primary 4 when I met Patience. Patience became my friend, the kind of friendship that 8-year-olds or 10-year-olds would have. The kind of friendship where you talk about which kind of Jolly Just flavor you like. By then, I think it was WBS. Patience was a bit older than me. She took care of me at school. We played together and went back home together. The academic year passed on so fast, and we were both promoted to the next class. First day of the next class, it had been a very long holiday. Ugandan education system, you know, 3rd-term holidays. I had so much I wanted to share with her. What the maid had done, how we had gone to Didi's World, and everything. But first day, Patience did not show up at school. Second day, Patience did not show up at school. Week 1, week 2, a month passed, and Patience did not show up at school. Months later, I think 2 months into the term, our class teacher came up and addressed our class, as is the norm for teachers to update you on who has been sick, who has been. And on that fateful day, my heart was pumping. My heart was beating the same way it was beating when I was coming here. The same way it was beating in the morning when the moderator was asking for our expectations. And I told my friends, I hope he does not pick me, but he picked me. Years later, I've learned that is my gut telling me something is going to happen. So my heart beats. And the class teacher mentions Patience's name, and yeah, unfortunately, Patience has dropped out of school. Patience had been my best friend from day one of school, so you can imagine how heartbroken I was in primary 5 without a best friend to talk to about our hide and seek, or what I will have for my break, or what they had packed for me, because she had dropped out of school. About a month after our class teacher had announced how Patience had dropped out of school, we are walking through Chitintale going back home. Mind you, I will say Patience and I grew up in Golf. It's a slum in Chitintale, and Chitintale is a Kampala suburb, those of you who know. So we are walking back home, and Patience is mopping a veranda of a prominent supermarket in Chitintale. Well, I was excited. I had met my friend Patience. I cannot say that she was very enthusiastic or very excited to meet me. And I was wondering why. This was my friend. This was my bestie. But it was then in my young mind that I saw her stomach, and she looked like she was going to have a baby, or she was heavily pregnant. And now that I'm older, I understand why, but then it did not make sense, because Patience looked like my mother at home with her stomach. The year was 2012, fast forward, I'm in senior 1. I am back home for my holidays, and as is in most of the households in Kampala, we are watching Bukede TV, the 10 p.m. Agatali Konfunfu. And a story is being told of a 16-year-old young mother of 2 that has been killed by her husband. And the story was sad. This 16-year-old mother of 2 had been battered and stabbed by her husband. After a long while of physical abuse, finally, she had succumbed, been stabbed, and died. The story was sad, but what was more heartbreaking was that the name of the girl in this story was Patience, my childhood friend. And why I come about to talk about this is that people do not know the impact of gender-based violence. But then, as in senior 1, I'd lost my friend. I'd lost some of my childhood memories. And I want to tell you today that gender-based violence is real. And for so many people like Patience, they have not come up to tell their stories. They have not lived to see the day they will tell their stories. But there are others that are survivors, as my colleague Linda will tell you about Sarah, who have survived but still live with the scars of the experiences of gender-based violence. And I'd call upon everyone of us here, if you know of a story, if you know you have the means, use any little bit of voice, any little bit of information, anything you have to make sure that the scourge that is gender-based violence will end. Thank you very much.
COVID-19 sent the world into chaos. Economies were shut down, and schools too were shut down. Sarah, being a young girl, 18 years old, who succumbed and underwent to school, thought a dream was shattered down. As she lived with her mother, she never knew what to do. So the mother, being the breadwinner at home, she actually used to cry onto the daughter, what should we do? Sarah, nevertheless, told the mother of a great idea. Mom, I want to get a job. Having a good friend called Brenda, Sarah went and confided into Brenda the idea. Brenda was already working by the time, but Sarah, looking at the situation at home, thought she was not going to make it in life. Brenda, being a good friend to Sarah, gave her of a great business idea. Out of the blue, Sarah told the mother of the business idea. The mom was so overwhelmed that the daughter was really brilliant in life. But nevertheless, Sarah started working. Everything was good and everything was moving on smoothly. At our workplace, she was being supported by everyone. The boss himself used to support Sarah, but as time moved on, it became a sad story to Sarah. But before it became a sad story to Sarah, the boss used to give Sarah gifts every day. Sarah was such a brilliant girl that everything was being assigned to her. Not until one evening, when Sarah was closing the store, the boss from nowhere popped in and started harassing Sarah, touching her boobs and her bums, made Sarah too insulted and thought life was no more. As Sarah ran faster away from the boss, she actually went and met their friend Brenda. Brenda, on the other hand, advised her to just continue with the job because of the difficulties in their family. As time moved, the boss wanted to sack Sarah. But in her cry, she had nowhere to run to. It really gave her no room to live or oxygen to breathe well in the world. But after a few moments, the She Leads program actually came in. It was of a great joy to Sarah that she narrated to us the story in the safe space. Being a girl advocate and also being girls who have been mentored, who have been empowered in different leadership positions, Sarah was being mentored by the coaches. Everything was given to her to regain her psychology. As we speak right now, Sarah is one of our champions in the safe space, that she can speak out what other girls also face in the world. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Who wants more cake? Hi. I know some of you were wondering where we have gone, but I'm here. Maybe just before I even forget, there is a player of chess, and he's looking for an opponent, I would say. So if you feel you're good with your, I don't know what you guys use when you're playing chess. I've never played chess, but if you know you're good at that game, please, you go and have fun. And please bet your money. You bet your money, the winner will give me a share, yeah? Yes? So right about now, before, so chess players, you're most welcome. We have a chess game somewhere outside, so if you feel you're really good with your hands and your mind and everything, you're welcome to challenge me. All right, let me invite Vivian from Alive Medical Services to also share her story. We had these stories from She Leads, so let us hear a story from Alive Medical Services. Vivian, you're most welcome. A round of applause, everybody. All right.
Okay. Hello, everyone. First, good evening. You will excuse me, I'll have to leave my mask on because I have a cough. So if I remove my mask, it will get so cold and I'll cough and I may not finish the story. And I'll just take it off for just a few seconds so you can fully recognize who is speaking. That's me. My name is Alice Vivian Navanova, and I am with Alive Medical Services. Life has been my home for a very long time, still being my home. I never hope to leave. Okay. So, just before I dive into what I want to say, I just want to ask, have we had mostly, I wanted to say the Ugandans, but I think it happens everywhere. So I think everyone has had a random conversation about gender-based violence, right? Like randomly with a friend, and somehow, now this is me personally, all the sharings I've had, I'm going to find that 90% of those sharings have been in favor of the perpetrators of these violences, just randomly, not as we sit on the panels. I'm not saying that the panelists have been saying otherwise, but these stories usually favor the perpetrators because most times we don't even acknowledge violence as it happens. As I'm going to share what I'm going to share, I need everyone to know that this is as fresh. I never thought I would get to share this publicly. I don't know if I'm ready to share actually, so I'm just going to come out and say, I've been going through violations that I didn't acknowledge. You know, they manifest as too much love, you know, and you find that you're living with someone and somehow they care too much to know what time you have gone to the toilet, what you have eaten, when, where, whatever you're doing. But then this person just wants to center, I don't know, something like to put you in a center so you're in between there with nothing to do. or to help yourself. So I've lived with my partner for a while. Previously, I had a job, very good one. I used to work, and I was happy. And my supportive partner was always telling me how it was good to take some time off when I started having conversations of maybe I should take some time off to rest and, you know, not be so stressed with work. And my partner was very positive about this. Oh, of course, I'm going to support you. You're going to be home. I'll be the man of the house and everything will be well. So quickly, I resign and sit at home. Like 2 minutes after sitting at home, the violations begin. But because, like someone said earlier, we usually think violence is when someone slaps me. But then at some point I got to where I thought I need to have maybe someone physically abuse me, but the emotional pain or the emotional abuse just brings much deeper pain that physical pain would never even reach. So as I spent time at home doing nothing, I became useless. I don't even know the words to use to put it right. My partner got to a point where he told me that one time we were moving at home and then we saw a lady riding a bike, doing deliveries. So he told me, see, that person is way better than you who just sits at home. At least she can go out and ride a bike. But when I was working, it was the opposite. It was okay for me to sit at home. But right now that I'm not working and I can't support myself, excuse me, like I said, it's still as fresh as tomorrow. Like, so. Anyway, so a lot of things have been happening, and what I chose to do was to, thank you, Robina. What I chose to do was to cocoon myself and just deal with my stuff. Of course, trying to confront the person that keeps on violating me, and that is wrong. I would advise anyone, I know we all go through these things because even right in the middle of the violations, I would of course see a few friends and I would smile big because everyone knows I'm a jolly person. So I'm not going to show up and be gloomy. Everyone is going to be asking, Vivian, what's wrong? So I have to put on a show and be so happy. But the reality can be seen by those that can see it. So for a very long time, I masqueraded like everything was okay. Those that know me have seen me as with flesh. I wasn't this small. So everyone will be asking, why are you small? And of course I have to come up with excuses. You know, I like to be small. So many things. Of course I like to be small, that's true. But I would want it to be something maybe from the gym, you know, or maybe I'm dieting, but I'm trying to eat so much food. Okay. All right, I'm just not going to get into the details. So I just want to let people know that it's not too much love, but control, emotional abuse, is real. Do not let yourself succumb to these things because you think, where do I go? I have a family. I have my mom that loves me so much. I have Alive Medical Services because they reached out when they realized I had decided to stay away from people. And they've supported me. When they called me to share today, I remember Pinky gave me the call after Edith had told me, and I clearly told Edith, I'm not saying anything. I just want to be present and maybe listen to people's stories, probably relate and try to find my healing. But then Pinky called me and she told me I had to share something. And I even didn't know what to share because previously my stories have been centered around HIV. And now, gender-based violence. So when I got here, I thought maybe sharing would also help me take a step into healing. So at least right now, I'm happy. I don't live with my violator anymore. I've had, because I thought it was a lot of love that I didn't want to leave that love, you know? I've had people telling me, even my mom, why do you stay there? Do you just want to be called married or what? But we're not even, oh, this is just, I'm not married lawfully. Yeah, so I thought I just didn't want to lose the love that I was getting, but I just never had the heart of leaving the person that had masqueraded as someone that loved me so much. So one time, a group of friends called me. They took me out and told me face to face, I mean, just to stress the point, you know, it will be fine. No. Face it, you're being violated or something wrong is going on. Whether you want to say it or not, something is going on. So I went back home and sat down and thought, it's my life. Like I said, I previously was a very jolly person, but I looked back in just the past 2 weeks of the life I was living, and I don't even remember smiling when I'm not smiling at the silly things that are happening, like, okay, that's silly. And then when I sat and thought about all these things, I thought, whether it hurts so much to leave this person, I thought I had to realize that staying with this person, it hurts me more than when I'm out there or when I'm back at my mother's place. So I thought and took a very brave act of leaving, going back home. Those who are Waganda, my name is Navanova. So, Okunova is something like, that's for the good. You know, everyone's going to be like her name, you know? So Navanova just had to do that because it was necessary. For the good of myself and my little girl and my friends who care about me, because somehow when I'm being violated, it hurts people that care for me. So I took this big step, went back home, and I guess that's how I'm actually able to stand here and share with you. And I just want to urge people that when you're being violated, we tend to blame ourselves. We blame ourselves because I remember at some point I'm like, okay, maybe because I used to do this, or maybe because I say this, or maybe because I'm an assertive woman. And then I feel like, oh, maybe he acts like this because I'm acting like this. Let's not blame ourselves. Let's be strong and let's learn to share. I think I got to this point because I never wanted to share with anyone. Even when people reached out and offered me all opportunities to support me, I refrained because I thought, oh, my love, people are going to tell me, and then I would have to go away, and you know. But I want to close as I thank, first of all, Alive Medical Services in general. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for feeling my pain, even when I never shared it. And I want to thank my friend Edith. She's there. She's done that opened my eyes to emotional violence. I knew about it, but I just didn't give it a lot of attention because I thought, for those who know me, of course you would know that I'm someone that is brave. So I would never imagine such things happening to me. But then they happen to people that we even least expect. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but we've seen our former vice president, okay, those who were there then, I think I was there, but I was young, she was violated. And I think this also keeps the violations going on because bagamba, olaba vice president bamukuba oluyi. Who am I? And then you see it no fumba because the vice president or the chairperson somewhere is going through the same situations. But you are you, be strong. And also I think we've not embraced self-love. So we need to love ourselves more so we can be able to not succumb to these violations. Thank you very much. I'm happy, sharing can get you to a point where you have to shed some tears, but I feel much better. So, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for our storyteller. You know, sometimes when we talk about stories or storytelling, we usually think it's something we just create, from the clouds. And usually when we share our stories, when we are smiling, someone thinks, oh, it's that easy to walk out of it. But until you go through it, that is when you realize how deep it can take you in an abyss. And when Vivian shares something like that, I really do relate. I will not share my story. This is not my moment. I am an MC. But one thing I would just want to appreciate is for the people who are here, who have listened to a story like this. I mean, today's event was about gender-based violence, and here we are, having someone who is fresh from the experience. And I think we should really give them credit for sharing such sensitive but powerful parts of their life. They are really deep, they are really not good, but why we share them is because we want everybody to get to know what happens in real life. Standing here and talking about it is one thing, but also learning to cope and getting out of that abyss is also another process which we wouldn't want to go to. And I really want to appreciate everybody. I want to appreciate all the participants who have been here. I want to appreciate the different organizations that have made this happen. My friend Kenan is somewhere finishing some quite urgent business, but he has delegated me to also take up his part. We really are, as ViceVersa Global, we really appreciate you for making this event happen. And we want to appreciate everyone who has really put in a lot of effort from the get-go up to this day. And we also request that please let us not stop here. Let us work towards achieving whatever we have discussed and see that we make all these stories worth it. Let us be responsible. There's one thing Judith said previously, that until it is physical, no one can be aware that it is violence. So let us not even underestimate the slightest bit of violence. Let us report everything that you think is violence. And then for us, the people you report to are the ones who will then take it to the next level until it is proven that it is not violence, it is something else. But let us do our part as community, as health workers, as the security department, as the government, as any other person, as an individual, as me, and as you. Without any further, can I call Kanan? Oh. All right. Kanan, I was just telling people that you had gone for urgent business, but I think you've signed the deal, but it's okay. So here. So tell us.
Some deals really have to be signed and made. No, I was
Are we
making
going to make money?
I was making sure that the airport is prepared because the ambassador has to be traveling soon. So I take care of some of that urgent business. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling so far? Yeah? Let me share my microphone with you. How are you feeling so far, Doctor?
I'm feeling satisfied with the day. It's been a very productive day, and we've learned, and we have committed.
Well, yes, we have committed. Is it okay if we commit a little bit? Let me just find out from one more person, how is the day going for you so far?
It has been quite interesting hearing voices of young people taking center stage and amazing and powerful stories from individuals. I think it swept us off the ground. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. We'll be going on, but for now, allow me to invite IUCN. We're going to be having just 2 more sessions and we'll be wrapping up. But I want to invite IUCN over here to the stage. We'll be having a wonderful presentation from them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for IUCN.
Oh, well. Hello. Yeah, I see the room is kind of like empty. But yeah, I work with EcoTrust, Uganda, and it's an environmental we have the gender action learning systems. It's called GALS. We have used it in households. It helps communities and households to make visions, to visualize their future. This includes the man in the house, the woman in the house, and the children. And they also assess their current situation and also analyze their past, and it helps them to lead to the journey or to realize their vision. In this, they also realize, they identify the opportunities that they have to reach their visions and the possible challenges that they might face that will deter them from reaching their visions. So this tool, it's called the Vision Road Journey tool. It helps in joint planning, where we know that in the communities that we work with, especially the rural communities, we've also realized that in many cases, women are not participating in planning. Even then, their visions are not recognized. So we've come with this intervention to help, everyone's needs is identified and appreciated, but also there is no struggle or fighting for resources. There are a couple of tools in this methodology or the approach that we are using, the gender action learning systems. There are a number of tools, but we pick out the visional journey because it helps at least everybody in the family, everybody's idea, everybody's vision to be captured. Yes. Allow me to stop there. That's it. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for IUC, and thank you so much. How are you feeling? You've presented to us, but we also want to find out from you as a person, like what does today mean for you?
Today means really a lot, especially that it's Women Month, and for me to be sharing what we are doing on ground as well, using the different interventions to prevent gender-based violence. It's good to share, so people can reach out to us, and we can also share these tools, the different tools that we use in the communities to bring both the men and women on board. I heard over that there are very many norms, the different issues that bring about violence in families. So these tools help everybody come on board and acknowledge that there are these challenges, but they should not pull us behind, but instead make us move forward for development.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Let's just appreciate her one last time. Now, I just have a question. How many people in the building enjoy chocolate? Yeah, there's a big me over there. Who else loves chocolate? Yeah, you love chocolate? It's only the ladies that are raising. You don't love chocolate? I love chocolate, my goodness. I love it so much. And so our next presenter is carrying chocolate in his hands. And I'm so happy to see that because he works with ViceVersa Global. And that means that EMCs are going to have like a backstage access to some of that. But ladies and gentlemen, let's invite over to the stage. We're going to be having a quiz. We're going to be having some chocolate. Please come and take over. Those are the hand claps you give for chocolate.
Thank you so much, Kenan. Are we good? Are we good? By the way, with me here is one beautiful woman. She volunteered to escort me. I think she saw when I was so nervous. She was like, I won't let you die in your movie. So, and she volunteered to, escort me to the podium. I'm Emmanuel Mandebo. Mandebo is such a weird name. Sorry. I noticed it when I had come to pick my certificate. When Eva said, Emmanuel Mandebo, people were like, oh, we've never heard of that name. It's so weird. Of course, I've lived all my life being called the guy with a weird name. So I'm quite comfortable. Talking of my weird name, one day, I think it was, I was a little bit younger. Of course, I identify as young at the moment. So I was having a couple of drinks with my colleagues. Then they told me, but Mandebo, that name of yours, how about you see something good about it? Then I was like, what good thing is there in my name? They told me, wait, look at Uganda's history. Look at the past presidents of Uganda. They all had weird names. Do we all agree? Do we all agree all past presidents of Uganda had weird names? Obote, Idi Amin Dada, Tito Okello Lutwa, and now there's another Mandebo. So they told me, by the way, you can become the president of Uganda. I told them, I take it in good faith. So that evening, as I was returning to my place, I had a conversation with myself. I thought about it. But then when I got to my home, where I stay, something unusual welcomed me. I had something unusual happening in my next door neighbor's house. So I wondered what exactly was going on. I heard things were being thrown on the wall. There were some kind of silent screams. So I got more inquisitive. When I got to my neighbor's door, I knocked. It was a relatively young couple, married at a young age. The guy was Okello from northern Uganda, and the young wife was called Jennifer from somewhere in Kanungu. So you can imagine that combination. Northern men are usually known to be very tough, and then women from southwestern Uganda are also known to be like people who are very principled. So usually there is a conflict of personalities. So when I knocked, the door was opened for me. It's Jennifer who actually opened the door for me. So I was like, yo, Jennifer, what's the problem? Jennifer told me, do you see any problem around? I told her, but no, I had some noise. I had people, throwing things around. Jennifer just told me, you know what, Emmanuel, mind your business. Of course, I had some little alcohol in my head. I was like, okay, let me go rest. So I went and rested. The following morning, my friend, my good neighbor, Kello, had a bandage on his head. So I wondered what exactly happened. Remember, already there was a scenario the previous evening. So Okello had a bandage on his head. Okello told me, you know what, my brother, first come aside. I have some story to tell you. Me and my madam, we have had issues for a while, but I think I started it some time back. There was a time she was suspecting me of cheating on her. But of course, I was misbehaving somehow with another woman somewhere. But of course, I love my wife. And I think I just got tempted. So when she pressed me too hard, what I did, I gave her a small slap. Ever since that day, my wife has never stopped beating me. I know I started it, but my wife has never stopped beating me. So what happened yesterday night was that, you see this bandage on my head? As we were talking about certain issues, I had a saucepan flying, coming towards me. Before I knew it, I had a wound on my forehead. So Okello told me somehow he had been struggling with that issue for a while, but as a man, he felt, of course, if he told that story to anyone, no one would believe him. They would be like, okay, Okello, you are the man. How can your wife beat you? Why don't you beat her as well? So somehow Okello had to, just keep things to himself. And I hope you've not heard this story somewhere. If you've heard it, please believe my version. My version is the most correct. Disregard the others, okay? So against Okello and Jennifer's story, I have quite a set of a few questions for you, and she's going to help me out. I would like this to be something that is engaging all of us. Let us all be engaged in it. And looking at Okello's story, do you think Okello was supposed to be silent about whatever was happening to him? Who wants a chocolate? You want a chocolate? Let me see her. Okay, let's walk to her. Since we are few, we can all have a conversation. So, do you think Okello was supposed to be silent about whatever was happening in his house?
He was not supposed to be silent because when you keep quiet, the more violence keeps going on and grows.
Ah, okay. Who has a different view? Who has a different view? Do we all agree with what she has said? Does she deserve a chocolate? A hand clap for her and a chocolate. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone, ever since the day started, we've all been hearing gender-based violence, GBV. Did any one of you hear any of the speakers define what exactly GBV is or gender-based violence is? Did anyone hear any of the speakers define what it is? So what were you going to tell your people back home? that I attended the whole festival on GBV. Of course, the first question would be, so what is GBV? Okay, who wants a chocolate? Who wants a chocolate? Who wants a chocolate? You want a chocolate? Okay, in case you go back to your home, and of course, you have taken nice photos. By the way, I saw her take some really nice photos. Hand clap for her. So, at least we need her to represent us well when she goes back home. So, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to help us define gender-based violence.
Well, I came in late, so I didn't really hear much from the panelists. But one thing I can say is that gender-based violence, it's an act or violation that violates human rights, and it includes discrimination, acts that are harmful to someone because of their gender. That's what I know.
Thank you for that. Okay, we all agree gender-based violence is a human rights violation, isn't it? Isn't it? And we all agree that gender-based violence actually has so many harmful effects, right? But what exactly is gender-based violence? She said it? Okay, could you kindly repeat to us the definition of gender-based violence?
In my definition, I said gender-based violence, it's an act that violates human rights, and some of these acts are because they are being discriminated, and it also includes harmful acts because of their specific gender.
A hand clap for her. Chocolate for the good attempt. Who has a different definition of, oh, thank you. Do you think, oh, Doctor, hold on. Do you think it's a very easy question for Doctor? We give it to someone else? Should we give the question to someone else? Okay. No. It's like this. Let us all tap on Doctor's wisdom, isn't it?
So I'm attempting. So this is violence that establishes, maintains, or attempts to reassert an equal power based on gender.
Wow. Chocolate for Doctor? Chocolate for Doctor? Wow. If I were to be younger again and decide to go for a PhD, that would be my typical definition of gender-based violence. Hand clap for Doctor. So who is taking a chocolate on behalf of Doctor? Herself. Doctor, we give you a chocolate. Feel free to give it out to whoever you want. Owing to scarce resources, we can only afford to give one chocolate at a time. All right. Okay. You want to define gender-based violence? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity. GBV, saying it in short, is a fight or a friction or a violence between the father and mother, or women and men and children, within a home and society. Based on, one, It can come if the man overgoes to booze and comes back when he's drunk and he's no longer in his senses. He can beat the whole village and the house and he can cause violence. And with being drunk, can even beat the woman. Number 2, failure of men or women knowing their responsibilities in a society or a home. That causes gender-based violence. Thank you.
A hand clap for Tony. Thank you so much for Tony. Let's clap for Tony again. Thank you so much. A chocolate for Tony. Tony has been able to give us a picture of what exactly gender-based violence is. So I have one scenario. I have a girlfriend. She demands for money from me every now and then. And I always demand for sex from her every now and then, but she denies me. Is there gender-based violence or no? Let's see from this side. I give. Of course, sometimes I don't have, but she keeps putting me on pressure to give her money. She has a chocolate. She wants the second chocolate before anyone. Should we give her the second chocolate? Do we agree? Let me give a chance to the ladies on the table here. I have a girlfriend. She demands for money from me every now and then, demanding with menace, like a lot of force. If I don't give her money, no sex, no intimacy. And then there are those moments I fail to give her money, but I want intimacy. Is there gender-based violence or not?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's not a healthy relationship. So I wish you another girlfriend or her another boyfriend, but not the both of you together. No, I think, when force comes into play, real force, and there is a power in equality, that the one who is being forced to is not able to say no because of certain consequences, then I would say that there's really a potential to violence, and you shouldn't put that force on somebody else, right? But still, because you were also asking, like, if I do give the money and she refuses to be intimate, is that violence? Well, it would be violent if you would really demand the intimacy, because I think at any moment it's upon the person to say yes or no, and not depending on if you give her money. As I said, if she's demanding money, I don't know exactly how it works within your relationship, but I think if a woman is demanding money, or a man is demanding money from a woman, which also very often happens, I think, and there's force to it, then I would say it's violence, right? If you would really put force to it and the person is not able to refuse based on the consequences. That's not healthy and that shouldn't happen.
A hand clap for Ruth. And a chocolate, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, why I had to bring out that scenario, I remember when we had the panel discussion, Doctor made a statement on you can be in a relationship. There is no gender-based violence per se as such, but you can feel it that things are getting more toxic, isn't it? Things are getting more toxic, and anytime violence will come around, isn't it? So thank you so much. One more question. Who wants, how many chocolates do we have left? Two. Okay. Let me give out two more chocolates. So Does gender-based violence only happen to poor people? Who wants a chocolate? Who wants a chocolate? Let me, I'll hold on.
No, gender-based violence happens everywhere, regardless of how much money you have.
Do we all agree? Do we all agree that whether you're rich or poor, you're a potential victim of gender-based violence or a potential culprit, isn't it? Do we all agree? Hand clap for her. Who says that issues of gender-based violence should just be kept within families? Of course, you're afraid of breaking the fabric of the family. You don't want to get ashamed. So who says, me, if there is gender-based violence, if I beat my wife, it should remain within the family? So who says that issues of gender-based violence should just be left within the family? Who wants a chocolate? Should I give him a chance?
Me, I say it shouldn't.
Why do you say so?
Because gender-based violence happens within the families, but then it affects both the society and families around, so it shouldn't stay inside the house.
A hand clap for him. Should we give him 2 chocolates? Should we give him 2 chocolates?
Emma, there is gender-based violence going on. The MCs are not being given chocolate for speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, a hand clap for my colleague. She's been really helpful in giving out the chocolates. You see, she's smiling because she has a movement allowance in her box. So, sorry. So thank you so much for this wonderful session. Thank you for coming for our festival. Before I leave the stage, there was one question that puzzled almost everyone, but
I hope there is chocolate for that question.
I'll give it to myself because I'm the one going to give the answer. So basically, when you talk of gender-based violence, what we mean by gender-based violence is the kind of violence done on a person simply because of their gender. When you find yourself treating someone differently because of their gender, or when you find yourself getting violent towards someone because of their gender, that is basically gender-based violence. It could also be the kind of violence that affects a certain gender differently from the other genders. That's why you see when they talk of GBV, women are always mentioned every now and then, because ideally, or the reality is, women form the biggest victims of gender-based violence. Do we agree? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Emma. It's so unfortunate that after a whole day, I happened not to eat some chocolate, and yet we did a great job at bringing for you something this wonderful.
It's actually called MCBV. MC Best Violence, and it happens all the time.
Thank you.
All the time. What did the cake? What did the cocoa? No, they are chocolate. MC. Anyways, guys, I know we are getting tired and we are almost wrapping up, but let me just ask us to just do this. It's a little bit. I'm hearing bones breaking. My God. Okay, so let's also do this one side. All right, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there.
While you're doing that, we face this way.
All right, so keep it there. Come on, just one more time. Where your hand is pointing right now, some hands are not pointing, but that's okay. Where your hands are pointing right now is where we're going to all turn. Keep it there, keep it there. So there is an amazing art. People are tired. It's okay. You want to put the hand down. So there's an amazing artist right way. MC Vayo. What do you
So like we're having remember, since morning we have been having a live painter, and he has been painting whatever was happening here. So he's going to briefly describe and talk about his painting and what his inspiration is. For those of you who are like me, who need extra eyes, I would request you come closer. These seats are free. You can always come in and just see the work he has done and get to know what painting feels like and what it looks like. And later we are going to close off our occasion with some music.
Yes, hello, hi everyone. Let me hope everyone is okay. Yes, my biological names are Kateva Joel. I come from the West, I'm a Motoro guy. Yes, my art name is Munze. Munze means within me. So I started up a company, it's called Munze Management Company Limited. We basically do art of painting, art classes, art therapy sessions, and even other styles of art that include construction, architecture work, and all that stuff. Yes, in this event or the festival, the ViceVersa Global Festival 2023, this is what I did for this festival. Actually, this whole festival was all about gender-based violence. When you look at gender-based violence, in this painting, it was symbolized with a fist, the fist of a guy, or a man, or any male figure. This one here. So this fist is representing gender-based violence. And then this hand, this big one, it's a hand for a lady. I think you can see the structure of a lady's head, and then this is the hair, that dark side, you see? So this hand is trying to say, stop gender-based violence. So this whole piece, this whole part here, as you see it here, everyone is joining this lady to fight against gender-based violence. So we started with the two MCs. Hope you remember their names. This is how they were dressed. These are the screens. You can see the screens. And then this is some guy who came and did poetry. That poem was having a lot of emotion. So at some point he felt like crying. I don't remember his name. And then later on we had the band. The guys were playing the instruments. So they were entertaining the audience. So what was the name of the MC from NBS?
Andre Chamagero from
yes,
MTV.
MC Chamagero. He came and presented. And then later on he introduced, he called upon the panelists who came 1, 2, 3, and then another one was hiding somewhere. I didn't see her. So later on they asked for questions. So one started raising the hand to start asking about everything they were trying to present. Then we had the band. I don't remember their names, but they came and presented. Yes. Then later on we had storytelling. They were mostly ladies. That's why I picked only one lady to represent all of them with the microphone. Then you remember her. She was teaching how to defend yourself if you are in danger. The background is showing Katanga, where she comes from, you see? So there is a lot of violence in Katanga. So generally, this is gender-based violence represented in visual art.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness me. Isn't that amazing? So let me just find out from you, Munze. How much did you know about all this before you came today, or did you also find out all these things on the ground?
When the event started, then I started drawing.
So literally you came here as fresh in the mind as every single individual here, and by the end of the day, you've been able to come up with this?
Yes.
Are you human?
I think I am.
I think, wow, this is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give whatever energy we have left to this amazing, super awesome talent. My God. I think...
He's magnifique.
I have paid painters before to paint just my face, and they tell me 3 months, and they come back and the joy is reaching these ends. Like, really? And he's been able to come up with all this. How can people get to you in case we have our own events going on and we want painting?
On Instagram, you find Munze, Munze MGT, Munze Management, and on Twitter as well, Munze MGT.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to contact Munze in case you need, and one last time. I know you've clapped a lot, but just one last time, because this is just super, super awesome for Munze. Thank you. We're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes. Actually, we are wrapping up, but I wanted to let you know and remind you that right behind there is such an amazing way to end a stressful day.
Now you are
good
speaking.
Day. Yeah, so behind there on that amazing table, there are drinks of all kinds. And
Of all
interestingly, I will tell you, very interestingly, their names are based on the themes from today. So for instance, I had a drink called Survivor. And man, I feel like a survivor right now. So you can go over there and you can check out the menu. The maximum, and I promise you, the maximum you will spend per drink is 10K. If they charge you even 50 shillings more, come and report to me.
That is
and so
gender-based
feel free to check it out, ask any questions you want, and please refresh yourselves. In the meantime, let's be having some beautiful music from Lisha and the band. Please enjoy. So as Lisha and the band are playing, please feel free to check out our cocktails right there at the back. And the event is officially wrapped up, so you can leave at will. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for coming through. Be blessed.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give it up to all the beautiful people who are representing today? We are for ViceVersa. Thank you.